My friends dared me to go to the Ogun River after dark. I laughed at first, but when she rose from the river, smiling at me with glowing eyes, my laughter died instantly. I still don't know why I agreed to that stupid dare. If I had said no, maybe my life would have been normal today. My name is Ade. This happened when I was 19 in my village. It was during the long holiday after secondary school, and my friends and I were bored. You know how teenage boys are: loud, restless, and always trying to prove who is braver. That day, Kunle and I were arguing about who was the bravest in our group of 6 boys. 2 of them swore it was Kunle. The other 2 said it was me. The arguments grew louder and louder until one of them pointed towards Ogun River and said, "If you are really as bold as you said, go there tonight, alone. Anyone who returned by dawn is the bravest." Everyone in my village knows these stories. The elders warned us never to go to Ogun River at night. They said that's when the river goddess hunts for mortals. People who see her never come back the same, if they come back at all. My grandmother once told me a story of how the river goddess captured a boy named Bukola. Bukola was an orphan, and he lived with his wicked aunt. One day, the aunt sent him to Ogun River at midnight to fetch water. Bukola stepped out carrying a clay pot, but he never returned. The villagers searched until dawn. All they found was a broken clay pot on the river bank and wet footprints that disappeared into the water. Some claim they still hear him crying at night. Others swear he now dances with the river goddess beneath the waves. I knew that accepting the dare was a case of inviting the wrath of the river goddess. However, I laughed, pretending not to be scared. But inside, my heart was already pounding. Kunle froze, his jaw clenched. His silence said it all. We both knew this was no ordinary day. That night, I sneaked out of my grandmother's house. It wasn't a hut, no. It was a mud brick house with a rusty zinc roof. At night, it smelled of palm oil and old wood. The floor creaked with every step. I moved slowly, praying my grandmother won't wake up and ask me where I was going at that ungodly hour. She had warned me countless times. Never go near Ogun River after sunset. The river goddess does not spare any mortal who interrupts her dance at the water's edge at night. But despite her warnings, my pride pushed me forward. Outside, the night air was heavy. The moon hung high, casting silver light over the trees. The shadows stretched long and airy. My friends, including Kunle, followed me behind, whispering and laughing nervously. They wanted to see if I would chicken out or if the river would swallow me. At first, everything seemed normal. The frogs croaked, the incense buzzed. The water could be heard flowing softly in the distance. But halfway there, everything stopped. The frogs went silent. The insects disappeared. Even the breeze died. It was as if the whole night had paused, watching us. My friends grew restless. One whispered, "Something is wrong. Let's go back." But I forced a laugh, trying to hide the fear creeping up my spine. I walked on alone, and then I saw her, a woman. She was sitting on a rock in the shallow part of the Ogun River. Her skin glowed under the moonlight, pale and flawless. Her hair was long and shiny, dripping wet, falling down her back. She was combing it with a golden comb, humming a song that didn't sound human. The sound froze my blood. My friends, including Kunle, screamed and ran back into the forest. But I couldn't move. My body was stiff, like the night had wrapped invisible ropes around me. Slowly, she turned her head towards me. Her smile spread across her face. Then, in a voice soft as the flowing water, she said my name. Ade, my chest tightened. I swear I never told anyone outside the group I was coming, but she knew my name. She stretched out her hand and said, "Come, Ade." Suddenly, my legs moved on their own. Step by step, I walked into the river. The water lapped at my ankles, then my knees. It was warm, too warm. It felt alive, like hands pulling me deeper. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out. And then, in the middle of the trance, I heard my grandmother's voice in my head, clear, desperate, and she was praying. She had always warned me about this river, saying, "Mami Wata chooses who she wants. Don't ever tempt her." Her voice snapped me back. I stumbled, fighting against the pull of the water, and shouted, "Leave me alone." The woman's smile vanished instantly. Her eyes flared bright green, her teeth sharpened into fangs. Her hair rose into the air, floating like snails ready to strike. And then she screamed. It was a sound so sharp, so piercing that my ears rang. The river surged upward like a wall and slammed into me with heavy force. I blanked out. When I opened my eyes, I was lying on the dirt path far from the water. My clothes were soaking wet. My whole body trembled as if I had been drowning for hours. My friends were standing around me, pale and shaking. They swore they saw me vanish under the water, only for me to suddenly appear on the path, unconscious. The elders were called. They listened to my story silently. When I finished, one of them shook his head and said, "Ade, you are lucky. The river goddess let you go." My grandmother rushed forward, tears streaming down her face. She held me tight, crying, shocked that I could embark on such a horrific adventure despite all her warnings. Since that night, I have never gone near the river, not even during the day. But sometimes in my dream, I see her. She is always there, sitting on that rock, combing her hair and smiling at me with those glowing eyes. And every time I have that dream, I wake up to a damp bed, as if I have been dragged back into the river. So, when people argue about whether spirits in Ogun River are real, I stay silent because I know what I saw, and I know that she is still waiting for me.